What's going on, y'all? Grind and Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And just recently, I did a video about Druski making fun of a high-calorie kid who happens to be only 9 years old. After that, his mom came out with a whole bunch of fake outrage, while at the same time saying racist things like he's a silverback gorilla, and then also fighting high-calorie phobia with high-calorie phobia by calling him high-calorie. But then that's not even the kicker. After the video, which I'm not gonna lie, I was saying some scathing remarks to both the kid and the mom. She basically tried to get me took down. We're gonna go ahead and check out what all went down. We're gonna look at her other little video that she did, and then I'm gonna go ahead and weigh in on things a little bit lighter this time. Let's go. So I opened up my email and it was like, "Hi, Grind and Motivate." It looks like you see the title right there. Didn't follow community guidelines to help keep our community safe. Removed it from YouTube. And I only got a warning, but it's the thought that counts behind it. You know, if somebody tried to put a hit out on you and they weren't successful with the hit, are you going to come back and forgive them? Or, you know, are you still looking for revenge? And I look at this the same way. You know, you got a whole bunch of your south of the Bordarian family to come and report my video in hopes of getting me took down. That's basically what you were trying to do. Anytime you try to report somebody's video, you're hoping that YouTube will hit them with the big blamer and come and look and review that video and be like, "Oh yeah, that shit ain't it too hot for TV, goddamn." And I'll admit at the same time, I was a little harsh on the kid, just like how I said that Druski was a little harsh on the kid. But I don't think the video was so bad to the point where like it needed to be took down. Well, I guess you know you could look at it several different ways. Some people were saying that it was probably due to the fact that the kid was a minor in the video, and YouTube doesn't like anybody talking about minors, just like any type of media doesn't like anything with minors. You even see situations in movies where minors might be in like a deletion scene, but they don't show it, or they kind of just barely get out of it or something like that. So that might be what they were thinking here with the YouTube. I knew it wasn't right when I put it out. I got a yellow mark, and then I tried to come back and get it manually reviewed. And they still was like, "Oh, hell no, you keeping the yellow mark, goddamn. You keeping the yellow mark." So I knew that wasn't right. But I know also that at the same time, it was this lady, because she's not important enough for YouTube, for Casanat, for Druski, and all them to really come back and be like, "We're gonna defend your honor. We're gonna defend your honor. We feel bad about your kid." Unless there's super cool knowledge, she's not important enough for them to come back and do nothing about it. But we're going to go ahead and rehash the video a little bit. I'm going to try to be a little bit less scathing and more constructive with my criticism. Because while I do think that things were harsh, I think that several things can be true at the same time. So we're going to go ahead and see a video of her, another video that I didn't introduce in the last video about it. And we're going to see what we have to say about that, and then go from there. Let's go.
I've been crying all fucking night. As a mom, I feel helpless that I couldn't get my son out of that house because of security and because of like the ADA or whatever she was.
First off, we don't really see no tears in your eyes. We hear little sniffles and all that kind of stuff, but it looked like you just got bags under your eyes due to the fact that you probably have poor sleep habits and whatever else you might be doing. Who knows? But that's another thing why I say this is fake outrage, because women have a built-in talent where they just are able to turn the waterworks on, you know, at a moment's notice. You know, you might say something that you might deem very little, but then they come back and they're crying about it, making it seem crazy. You know those memes where they say a woman will be looking like this and she'll be snot-nosed crying and she'll be lying? That's essentially what's happening right here. This woman's acting like she's so distraught and hurt about this situation, but it's not that serious. And then at the same time, you're fake. Let's go.
Telling me everything's okay when it wasn't. And I can't believe like Casanat kept letting this be filmed. I can't believe like he let this be out there, that he's a part of Druski humiliating my baby when my son was there to do an Addams Family skit.
Again, I'm gonna say this is a silly point for you to be making. You're acting as if you got blindsided by Casanat and these little guys, when if you've watched the Casanat stream, then you know it's a whole bunch of debauchery going on and silly stuff and all that and curse words and this and that. There's kind of no holds barred when it comes to a Casanat stream. I don't even watch Casanat, and I know that based off of the clips that I see. I know that he's not really something that I think is really kid friendly. You got Kodak Black popping perks. You got all these other little people on there. You got Sexy Red on there. Sexy Red is not a a rated G artist or a person. You got so many other people that are on there that are not really rated G. And then also, it's like, do you not really know what the Addams Family is? Like, you know, Pugsley is a high-calorie kid that's kind of annoying and obnoxious and gets into little silly things. He's mischievous. So your kid is playing that. Like I said in the last video, when somebody signs up for a certain role, I feel like you're kind of exploding yourself. Like it's like you don't realize like you're playing that role because you literally fit the criteria of that. You know what I mean? Like I said in the last video, that lady Leslie Jones always plays a big burly, overzealous woman that's trying to get at some type of dude and they don't want her. And it's like, do you think that you look good after that, or do you think that, oh yeah, it's just a role. It's just a role. I'm not really ugly in real life. I'm not really fat in real life, and nothing like that. You know, what are you thinking about? And that's the same thing right here. Your son's playing Pugsley. You're sitting up exploiting your kid because I guess he's a little high calorie dude or whatever. And you think it's funny we can get a quick buck out of it. You signed up your kid because you wanted money. You saw Casanat streams. You know what Addams Family is about, unless you don't know, which I think is even sillier. But all these things you knew, and you still came in. So start acting like you blindsided. Let's go.
They lied to us, you guys. And then they're supposed to have a teacher on set or a monitor, and they didn't have no monitor for me to watch my son. And sit here and watch my son cry and be bullied by this fat mother.
Like I said, all that little extra theatrics is not a tear in sight. You just look silly. Let's go.
For no reason, my son was just sitting there, you guys. You guys need to cancel Druski. Because that's not okay what he did. You're not cool anymore, guys, and then you suck.
So like I said earlier, several things can be true at the same time. Druski going to the 9-year-old is not really cool. The parent putting him out there is not really cool, and it's exploitative. I'll even admit that the things that I said were not cool. They were unnecessary. I could have just kept it at the fact that what Druski was saying was a little bit out the way. But instead I added my own little things, which I shouldn't have added into it. And while I don't have no issue with your son or nothing like that, I hope he leads a good life. But I will say that you as a parent need to get in front of his health, because apparently you don't really care. And that's why he was able to even be subjected to something like that. First, because you put him in the role of a Pugsley Addams Family Thanksgiving skit. And then secondly, because you're not looking out for his health. He needs to be getting into some type of sport or some type of fitness. There's no reason for him to be 9 years old running around here looking like that. You, on the other hand, I have nothing to say in remorse for you. You know, what I said about your lips and what I said about, your own high caloriness, I don't take back. I don't feel any specific way about that. You know, you don't need to be worrying too much about what Druski and Casanat and all them saying, how they suck. You need to be worrying about Trump them getting into office soon. Hope all your papers is in order. Hope everything's good and you took care of all that, because your kid needs to be able to have a life here. But yeah, man, I was just annoyed that she even tried to do that, man. I felt like I could come back and do the video with a little bit more constructiveness. While there was some very slight roast in there, I'm hoping that this video will at least pass the guideline check. And if they come back and try to report it, then I'm just going to fight that report and I'm going to win, because this wasn't that bad of a video. It was more constructive than it was a roasty video. You know, you need to do a little bit better about not subjecting your kid to some stuff just because you want that little extra money and everything. Or, you also need to make sure that you're staying on top of your kid's health, because he's too young to be looking like that. At 9 years old, I was not looking like that. You have all that kind of extra baby weight and everything when you're like a lot younger. Under 5, I'd say. But after that, it becomes more so about what the parents are feeding you and what kind of activities that they are having you in. So that's on you. And at the same time, again, I will say Druski was wrong for even coming out and trying to roast a kid for no reason. I guess he was drunk, or he was just stupid, or trying to make a funny, which Casanat and them is all about being a jester coon and trying to make a funny rather. But yeah, man. That's it for the video right there, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Was I doing too much? Should I go ahead and X out the video? Or should I keep it up? Because it's actually constructive and it's not that bad. Let me know if you watch up to this point. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. And I'll see y'all next time.